Welcome to the Torah. Our story today is found in Genesis chapter 34. In this passage, we read about a horrible event that happened involving Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and his son Shechem. Now, Shechem is one of the sons of Jacob, and he has an encounter with his sister Dinah, and it's not a good encounter at all. In fact, it's terrible. And as a result of that encounter, Shechem's brothers end up killing all of the men of the city where this took place. So let's just get right into it and see what happened. Verse 1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. Now, the first thing we have to understand here is who Dinah is. Dinah is the only daughter of Jacob and Leah. We know that Leah wasn't very well liked by Jacob because the passage says that Rachel was Jacob's favorite. But nevertheless, she had children for him, and they were boys, except for Dinah. We also know that Jacob was very protective of his daughters, as we will see later in this passage. And so he sent them out to go visit some local girls who lived in the area. But then we read something very shocking. Verse 2. Now, when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her, and he ravished her. Now, who is Shechem? As I mentioned earlier, Shechem is Jacob's son. He is the son of his wife Leah. And so Dinah's brother Shechem did something terrible to his sister. He took advantage of her. He assaulted her. The word used here for ravished means to abuse, to use someone sexually without their consent. And so, yes, Shechem raped his sister Dinah. Verse 3. Then Shechem felt, after he had lay with Dinah, that he had done exceedingly wicked a thing. Obviously, he was feeling guilty about what he had done. And those who were with him said, "We are at our peril. If every man of the city knows the matter, they will kill us." Now, it looks like Shechem did this with some friends. But now they are saying, "Whoa, if anybody finds out what we did, we are going to be killed." Verses 4 to 7. So they took the ram's horn and circumcision knife, and made no more delay. And they came to terms with the men of the city, taking that day's ransom, 20 pieces of silver. According to the weight of the sanctuary, each piece of about a shekel, and 20 garments. Then they bound them with fetters, and put them in prison. Here we see a very disturbing part of the passage. First of all, Shechem and his friends circumcised themselves. Why would they need to do that? Well, if you know anything about ancient cultures, you would know that circumcision was a sign of a covenant, a sign of a commitment to a certain group of people. And so these guys said, "Hey, we want to make a deal with Jacob and his family, and we're going to show our commitment by getting circumcised." What's interesting about the timing of this is that God had commanded Abraham to be circumcised 8 days after he made his covenant with God, and these guys were circumcised on the 8th day as well. It's almost like they knew that there was something special going on here. But obviously, they weren't circumcised for the right reasons. They were doing it to appease Jacob and his family so they wouldn't be killed. And so they put down a ransom, 20 pieces of silver and 20 garments, and they said, "Okay, we'll give you this stuff. Please don't kill us." And Jacob and his sons accepted the bribe, and they said, "All right, we won't kill you. Let's wait until you recover from being circumcised." But look at verse 7. It says they put them in prison. Why would they put them in prison? If they didn't want them to die, why wouldn't they let them go and recover in their own homes? Well, they had every intention of killing them. They just needed time to come up with a plan. Verse 8. And when they had recovered from circumcision, they arose and took the 2 sons of Shechem, Levi, Dinah's brothers, and slew them with the edge of the sword, and took vengeance for their sister because he had defiled her. This is horrible. These guys waited until they had recovered, meaning they were healed from being circumcised, and then they killed them. Now, what's even more amazing is that they were able to sneak up on these guys because apparently Shechem and his friends were passed out drunk. The text says that they were drinking and celebrating and having a good time. And while they were drunk, these guys were able to sneak up on them and murder them. And then they went to the rest of the city and did the same thing to every single man. They killed everybody. So, wow, what a horrible situation. If you think about how this could have been avoided, it's pretty simple. Just don't rape your sister. That's really the bottom line. And I know that's easier said than done, but nevertheless, that's exactly what happened. And now you have an entire group of people being murdered because of the actions of one guy. So again, bad situation. As we continue on in the book of Genesis, we're going to see more and more violence, more and more bloodshed. And it really seems like things are just going from bad to worse. But we serve a good Father who can bring order to chaos. And that's why I love studying the Bible, because we see time and time again that no matter what the circumstances may be, God is still in control. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.